Hey my friends, how's it going? Today I'm starting work on this Miller Bobcat 225G welder. It's a welder slash generator, and I don't know what's wrong with it, if anything's wrong with it. It's old and rusty, and went through and looked, and a lot of the bolts are very rusty. Here, let me just show you right on the starter what it looks like. I sprayed some of the PB Blaster on it to loosen it up, but hopefully the starter's good and we don't have to replace it, because that looks like it's going to be a little bit of a problem. Moved the battery, and that was right there in that compartment, and I vacuumed out all of the rust. And I also took off the carburetor, the air filter, and the cover for that, and this is working fine. I went and pulled the choke and it works just fine. The dipstick, look at this. Ooh. Yeah, so gotta clean that up a little bit. And the tire's totally flat, and I really don't think that this is a gas cap. But I stuck this in there just to see, and it's totally dry. There's nothing in there. There's no gas whatsoever in there. Even the little fuel filter there doesn't look too bad. So what I'm gonna do is take the battery down and trade it, get a new one, and we've aired up the tire and it just goes back down. So I'm gonna have to replace those. I might take a picture of it and go to Harbor Freight and see what I could find. And oil, I looked up in the owner's manual, it said 1.5 quarts. So I got some of that for the motorcycle left over that I'll just put in there. That should work fine. And hopefully I can find the oil filter for it. Well, I'll go pick up those ingredients to make a running generator, and I'll be right back. I think I'll wait. We change the oil first and then I'll connect the battery. Now right under there, this thing right here, right there is where the oil is drained from, and it's pretty neat. It says to hook up a 1/2 inch inner diameter. This one, I don't know if it's gonna fit. It's probably not, no. I already tried it a few times, it's not gonna fit. But I think I can probably just get a funnel or something, put it under there, and drain it into a pan. But there's a little switch back here. Let me see if you could see it. You could see there's a little L, and you push it in and twist it. That will, I think, it will release the oil, and we can drain it. Let me grab something to channel that oil out of there with and see if there's any. I know there's a little oil, we saw it on the dipstick, but let's drain that oil. Just gonna go ahead and remove this fuel filter to make it easier. So when I was looking at the battery, when I bought the battery, I asked the guy if he could tell how old that battery is, and he said it's probably more than 7 years old. So, don't really know how long, but probably at least 7 years. It's been, well, okay, got that off good. So now the funnel should fit right there, good. And then it'll run right down there into the pan. Let's see if I can do this. You know what I'm gonna try? I'll put the cap on and then I'll push it in and turn it. Okay, it should be armed. And now put the funnel. Hopefully it won't run back. I should go get a towel just in case. Oh, it's water. Got a little waterfall going on. I had to put that dish there because it was, the pan wouldn't go past the wheel and the funnel wasn't long enough. And now it's dripping. I got a hammer holding that little Tupperware dish against the wheel. It's still coming out. Well, that's draining. I can go ahead and clean that dipstick. That'll be a good use of time. Now let's fill her up with some fresh oil. Dipstick still don't look perfect, but it's a lot better than it was. Let's see, it says 1.5 quarts. There's oil in it, so I'm going to leave it like that. I'll add a little bit more later. Let's just hook the battery up, see if we can crank it. Well, I gotta put some gas in it. Hang on. Now, I don't know if if this stuff has been in here since I moved in this house. I think this might have been some gas that somebody else left. You know what? Okay. I was like, I better just make sure it's gas. So, got gas, fresh oil. Let's hook up the battery and see if it starts. Hold the choke, turn it to run. Whew. Well, it did something. I better hook this fuel filter back up, huh? Yeah, that won't be a good surprise to have that. Okay, so let's see. You know what I think it is? I think it's the starter. You know, that sound, that humming is probably the starter not engaging, not turning the engine over. Let's have a look at that starter. I just took the heat shield off to make it easier to see. I also unhooked the battery. But look at all that corrosion on those cooling fins. And this starter is very rusty and corroded. That's where it hooks into. But I'm looking at it and I mean, that right there is not touching the starter, see? So where is the starter? Where is it bolted on? I don't see where. But since it's so corroded, I think I'm gonna go ahead and clean it up first before I start trying to figure out how to take it off. At least clean it up enough where I can actually see what's going on and how to remove it from the engine. Oh, let me get that taken care of. I think I found something. Look on the top of the starter body. Yeah, there's one, and I can't get in between there, but there is another one on the other side there. Just see if I can fit this back there now. maybe a different kind of socket. Let me see if I can find just a long socket. Turning, I sure hope it's not just twisting the bolt. It feels like it's it's turning, but there was a bolt up here that felt like it was turning and it just snapped right off, so I don't know. But I don't know why it doesn't feel like it's coming out. Okay, it's coming out. Good. That's what I had right here when I was taking this bolt out, is that the wrench got caught. When it loosened the bolt, then I couldn't get it off because I couldn't get the wrench out of there because the screw had it in a bind. So this, I gotta take the socket off the wrench. And there's no quick release on the back of this wrench. You know what though? I got one of those angle things. I wonder if I can work that in there. Yeah, well, it looks like those are the bolts because the starter is getting loose. Phew. Get out of here. Now I've got to remove this rusty bolt thing to get it out of here. Oh, I gotta remove this. Maybe if I took these cables off, then I could twist it to get it out. So that's what I'll do, is try to work on getting that out, and that seems pretty difficult. Well, I don't want to say difficult. It just, because of how rusted that is. Then it's got this little cap on here, this little piece of plastic, and this bolt's not gonna, this nut, I think I can figure it out. I got it out. It was a magic twist after all. I can't really show you how, because I don't really know. I was just pulling and pushing on it. This is, it was up in here, and then somehow, I mean, I did have to, I removed this clamp that was holding the cables down so I could pull them flat to give the starter as much bottom room as necessary, so I could push it down as far as I could and kind of twisted it. These where the starter bolts fit in, you couldn't pull it backwards because the engine's right there, so you kind of had to twist it where this was in the center, and then it came out like that. So let me hook this up and see if it works. Nothing. Well, I should have thought those little bitty wires weren't going to carry enough electricity to test that starter. So I had to take it down to the starter repair shop and have him check it there. And he said he said it's bad. Well, he said it's really weak. It just made moaning, groaning sounds, and so that means that the solenoid's good, because it did. And he says that this did come out. It just was very weak. Stopped by, got a snow cone on the way back, and I'm gonna open it up and clean it up, see if we can get it running again. Electronic cleaner in it, and then I put it back together, and getting those brushes back in place took some time, so don't know if it did any good or not, but let's plug it up and See if it works. All right, got it put in, got the starter hooked up, got the battery hooked up. Whew, it's been a day. Choke, and let's see what happens. Nothing. Oh, you know what? Forgot to tighten the cable. Sorry, I'm too close to the camera. Let me tighten this nut here. Not as tight as I'd like it, but let's try it again. Come on. Come on, thing. You do it. Nope. Same as it was. That starter cost like $300. I'm gonna have to buy one. Man. Well, I did all I can. I go check online, see if I can find one somewhere. So, that's all for now. See ya in a few days. Man, I really wish I would have gotten it running. I gotta go in and get changed. I'm going out tonight. Y'all have a good night. Take care. Bye-bye.